Hello folks, just wanted to provide a little update here. This is a RailPro engine that I recently posted online, and I was having some problems with it. It was sort of taking a lot of energy to get moving, and it was sort of stuttering and jumping around a little bit. It wasn't very smooth. Chuff rate was really out of sync. And I had heard some things about steam engines in RailPro not working as well as diesels, and I kind of chalked it up to that and just thought it was an electrical problem or a connectivity problem or just a RailPro problem, when in fact, in reality, what was wrong here, it was more of a mechanical problem, and it was a maintainer error, if you will. So when I opened this thing up to see what was going on, these three wires right here, which are for the tachometer, were wrapped in under the flywheel in there. And so that was causing obviously some binding issues. And so I moved them down below the solder level and put a little piece of tape in there to hopefully prevent that from happening again. And I still had some issues with it binding and not running so smoothly, very slow. It couldn't do any real slow speed operation. And then what I found was this side rod here was very slightly bent right at this point right here, where this was just up, just a fraction. It wasn't enough to prevent the screw from going in the hole, but it was evidently enough that when I got to a rotation point, the engine would kind of bind, this would bind, and it would be hard to muscle through it. The more power I applied, obviously, it would work its way through it. And there were actually some little pieces of metal burr bent in the hole in here, and I had to Dremel them down and get that all nice and smooth again. So hopefully it's all fixed. I did put this in a vise and bent this down appropriately, so that's in good shape. So we're going to give it a shot now and see if we can do some slow speed operation. That's going pretty nice. I couldn't do that before with the way the wires and the side rod were making the mechanicals not work so great. I'd have to jump it up to almost 20 just to get it to move, and right now you'll see it's at 8.3 and just going nice and slow and pretty smooth. So I'm happy with it. So if you have challenges, sometimes remember it may not be electrical or connectivity, it may be mechanical or user error. Thanks and have fun. Alright, I couldn't end the video there. We have a half-naked steam engine running around the track. I got to show you what it looks like all buttoned up. I did one other thing. The speaker is actually an exciter. It creates this whole shell as a speaker. And I mounted it to the side of the shell here. And I had kind of a plasticky, vibrating sound. I wasn't really enamored with it. I ended up moving the speaker to the top here on this coal load that I made. I cut out the plastic coal load and put in a real coal load, and it's sitting on top of a piece of styrene plastic which is glued to this shell, and it's pointed down, and the sound is so much better. I don't have that plasticky vibrating sound anymore. I think it sounds great. So we're at the dairy facility here, at the Hood's dairy facility. We got some dairy cars hooked up. Why don't we pull out of here and see how it works.